If we're being honest, nobody is perfect. Every single person in this room has failed at least once in their lives. There's no harm or bad in admitting it. So go ahead, raise your hands. All of you who feel that you failed. I'll be honest, I have. Just imagine the days leading up to the biggest cricket match of your life. For weeks, you've been training, pouring in hard hours of sweat, practice, and the occasional tear. You sacrificed plans with friends, had two more cups of coffee than usual. And finally, the bowling begins. The swing of the arm, the click of the wrist, and the ball veers off course to the wide line. This happens not once, not twice, but a whole over's worth. Your coach looks at you like, is this what you've been training for the past month? Did you feel that internal wince, that sucker punch? That's the feeling we all experience after receiving results that fall below our expectations. Denial, inadequacy, failure. This failure often leads to many emotions such as frustration, doubt, even despair. But if failure is something that connects every one of us, then why not learn to wield it? Why not say, weaponize it? Let's break it down. Failure is simply the gap between where you are versus where you want it to be. But this gap does not have to represent inadequacy. It does not represent defeat. It represents data, information, a chance to redirect. It does not mean that you're weak or that you're underprepared. It simply means that you have room for growth and that your journey is not over. I'm 16, and like a lot of people my age, I wanted to improve myself physically. Not just look stronger, be stronger. So I threw myself into intense physical training. Bodyweight circuits, weighted cycling intervals, long runs, bag work until my arms and legs felt like noodles. The type of exercises where your muscles will scream and your brain begs you to stop. At first, I thought effort alone would be enough. You show up, you push hard, you repeat. What else could be there to do? At first, I imagined fast progress. Confidence, strength, endurance, all coming quickly. But after weeks of training, something clicked. My pace was not improving, and neither was my stamina. And every time my body gave up before my mind wanted to, it felt like I was being mocked. What happened to those goals you set? Have they already evaporated? That burning pain, the one that creeps in during the final set, the final sprint, the final push, becomes familiar. This very burning pain is still what motivates me to power me towards my goals. To cool off on the day, I decided to engineer some Legos. As an avid Lego builder, the clicks of the axles fitting into the bearings as well as the bricks calmed my overheated mind. As I continued to build a transformer, I ended up with a centaur that transformed into a weird lion thing, a very wonky creature, a part fail, part success. And that's when I understood something. My creation might have been a 50-50, but it showed me where I needed to improve. Better yet, it gave me a direction to move in. And that's when I felt enlightened. Failure is not your enemy. The misinterpretation of failure is. It is simply one's guiding light towards the end and thus towards success. In reality, failure is a vital tool for success. From the lessons learned, the blows endured, and the humility gained, it shakes our foundations, yes, but only so that we may rebuild them stronger. So instead of seeing failure as a barrier, I saw it as motivation, as fuel, the very same fuel that keeps me chasing that burn. Because every time I feel it, I am growing stronger. Motivation like this continues to power me. And another lesson that failure teaches you is that of resilience. Because every time you recover from failure, you strengthen your resilience further. And like any weapon, it requires skill to wield. And that skill is developed through repeated attempts, even if those attempts leave scars. We all have such scars. They're an essential part of the path of failure, or rather, the journey to success. Muay Thai fighters condition their shins until they're practically steel. Now, I do know that most of you here have absolutely no interest in becoming a martial artist. But what if I can tell you, we can condition our minds to become resilient to failure as well? So instead of planning a straight tunnel towards your goal and expecting life to honor it, we must learn to adapt and thus to overcome. Some challenges we conquer, others we tank and grow stronger from. Failure is not something to fear, but a tool to forge success. Failure requires adaptation. Failure requires reflection. Failure has shaped me and brought me to this prestigious stage. Why do you think I'm able to stand here today? Behind me stands a long history of setbacks, disappointments, and hard lessons, as well as the growth, persistence, and resilience that's allowed me to stand tall again and deliver this carefully curated speech. When someone stumbles, they must remember that they are never facing their struggle alone. The people beside them, family, friends, mentors, even their teachers, are there to guide, support, encourage, and correct. They help refine your words when you falter for important speeches and empower you to rise towards something greater. So remember this, failure is a double-edged sword. You can let failure wound you, or you can let it sharpen you. The choice is ultimately yours. You can let failure break you, or you can let it build you. You can hide from it, or you can harness it. I am Parth Karnik, and I implore all of you to treat failure not as a tombstone, but as a milestone. Because failure does not define who you are, it refines who you are becoming. Thank you.